Gamble with Numbers team presents Chalked Blocked with Bo Big Time McBrayer.
I gotta know what a $5 shake tastes like.
That's hot. That's hot.
I want winners, folks. You don't know diddly.
And his partner, Scott Stag Simpson.
Do you know who I am?
Trying to put Tiger Bomb on this jungle's nuts.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
I gotta catch a glimpse of these warlocks. Let's make a move. Let's make a move. Let's make a move.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to Chalk Blocked, the world's sexiest DFS show for now. I'm Bo McBrayer, as always, alongside Scott Stack Simpson, all the way from the Beltway bruiser himself. Scotty Stacks, how we doing tonight?
I'm trying to figure it out here. I got my mic turned on. There we go. Up a little loud.
Your mic's not the only thing turned up.
Oh man, that's what she said. No, I'm really excited today. We've got a great show. We got, was it 13 fucking games on the slate?
Yeah, no bye weeks. Shout out to the NFL schedule crew who is so inept at their job that they gave us this blessing.
It's weird because there'll be a bye week coming up in week 14 when everyone gets fucked right before the fantasy playoffs. So this is a weird little kind of like
all the people with the Baltimore Ravens carrying them all the way to that point for the fantasy playoffs and dead.
Better have your bye secured, because if you're not getting the bye that week, you're in trouble.
Yeah, it could be a little rough for those people like me who have a lot of Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, Justice Hill, Rashad Bateman, who's on pace for 1,000 yards, like somebody predicted.
Was that Bo Big Time? Is that the guy? I know him. I know he's the guy.
Probably. It was either me or Kev Masarajan.
Well, I'm just going to say it was you and pretend like, you're the man who's calling all the shots and stuff like that. So
Kev and I both wrote it down. Kev and I both are
Okay.
very high on Shoddy B this year, and so far, so good.
Well, I like it. If you don't know, we are the world's sexiest DFS show for now. And what we're doing is we're going to use Run the Sims Optimizer, their classic optimizer tool, to walk you guys through the slate. It's the slate walk. And since there's 13 games, like we said, we got a little bit of a longer show before we get to the end where we like to do a little head-to-head. Bo did win last week. He is up now. Is it
5-2?
It's not good. It's not good. So
yes, he's playing the long game, Scott. Scott, you're playing the long game, which is admirable since I only was on the show for 32 minutes last week. Had to go watch my guy Fluff beat up some Brazilian guy with a ponytail.
he crushed him. He kicked his ass.
It was a wreckage. They actually showed it was somebody did the live footage from the Hernandez Pereira fight, and it was just the bear scene from The Revenant.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
It was extremely accurate.
Yeah, my favorite part was that I didn't realize it was a 5-rounder. I just thought, it'll be 3 rounds because it's a title,
Yeah.
not title, a main card. It's 5 rounds. He
Yeah.
kicked his ass for more rounds. Like he got him in the 4th, I believe, but he kicked his ass another round. He got more beatage.
Yeah, it was funny because I think Pereira's corner for the 3rd round were telling him, just take this round off. And the announcers were like, yeah, he's not going to let him do that.
Right? You can't just take it. He's like, lay on him. Just lay against the fence. That's all you got to do this round. Just rest.
Just rest. This guy's just wailing on him.
He's beating the shit out of him, which I love because that's your boy. That's the Cockmaster General over there at your, bigtimeflavor.co. Check it out on the webs.
Yeah, it's that's my guy. Big win. Shout out NorCal. Big slate this time. Are we starting with the Cardinals and the Dolphins? Welcome back to Atungavailoa. Yes, sir. Let's get some action back in this Miami offense for once.
I mean, Jesus Christ coming back from the dead might not be as big to the Christian religion as Tua coming back for Miami because, man, they are starved. You saw Huntley come in. You saw Skylar
They went
Thomas.
from top 5 offense last year to dead last without Tua. That should show you how valuable that guy is to that offense.
With that being said, he should definitely wear a Guardian cap. But, hey, personal choice.
Well, I get where he's coming from because there's been no proof outside of who's already been paid to tell you that it's a better option. He's wearing the safest helmet available, which has been rated higher in safety for against concussions than the
True,
Guardian
true,
cap.
true, true.
So yeah, I get where he's coming from. The Guardian cap adds weight, which feels weird. If your head feels heavier and you're trying to read a defense and fire off dig routes to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, yeah, I probably wouldn't wear a Guardian cap either.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point that you made about his helmet being one of the safest because Patrick Mahomes
The
is
safest.
in that boat too. He doesn't have a Guardian cap, and he's got a specially designed helmet with pressure points that are making it so his skull is more absorbed. It absorbs the impact, not his skull.
Yeah.
You know, because it's all tight in there. So, but speaking of all tight in here, this is a game that is very much rostered, as the kids say. There's a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of smoke on this game. Tyreek Hill
Sheesh.
7,000. Waddle 5,400 just because of their ineptitude without that. Tua in the offense has been terrible. So even HN is down to 6,200. Tua's at 61. So obviously 26, 19, 19, 9. You can't play them all.
Chalk fest.
How are you doing this? What are you going to do in this situation? How are you kind of managing this? Because you're going to have some of it, probably a little bit, maybe a taste, but you don't want to overdo it and you want to do the right chalk. So let's block the chalk.
I'm going to leverage it by playing the Cardinals, guys.
I like it. I like it. Anybody in particular? Are you doing RB, running back, tight end? McBride's available.
Yes. All the Cardinals. I'm gonna do a lot of 2x1 stacks with Kyler and either Marvin Harrison or Trey McBride or James Conner, and then pick one of the Dolphins. You can pick one Achan on the side. You can pick a Waddle or a Tyreek on the side. It doesn't matter if you eat that chalk in a part of a big stack in this game that's going to have a pretty high total. Then you're still scoring a lot of points, and you're not incurring as much of that shared uh, chalk with the rest of the field. It's a leverage play to get a piece of this game, but maybe don't go as Miami heavy as everybody else because chances are it might take the Dolphins a couple games to get back into that stride and rhythm that their offense entirely relies upon.
And somebody who I've been eyeing lately, and I know that's because of kind of the role and the quick pace of the offense trying to get the ball out. It's Johnny Smith. Johnny Smith is cheap. I believe he's 3,600. Is that accurate? I don't want to lie. Yeah, 3,600. So you could do a little double stack tight end here too, if you wanted to get a couple pieces that might not be as rostered. Johnny only 1% rostered in there, so that's something you could do as well.
It is possible, yes.
Yeah. So no, you're not a huge Jonnu man, but that's okay.
Not in this offense. Maybe if Tyler Huntley was on the field still, that's the only receiver that he actually saw. You could see that the other two guys running wide open the whole game, and Tyler Huntley was blind. He would just 3-step drop and take off running. Or he had Johnny Smith like fake a block chip and then release into a flat route. And that's really all the targets he got from Huntley were just yak targets where he was seen as a blocker by the defense and unaccounted for.
I mean, those are the best ones when you're not accounted for. Question here, is this going to go over or under the total? Because for my money, I think it's going to go under.
Over.
You think it's going to go over? Okay. If that's the case, then is there any cheap pieces that you're looking to eye up in here? A Malik Washington, a Michael Wilson, an Odell, somebody who's just under 4K that you could just get a garbage touchdown or get one of those extra scores, or is it all going to be the main guys, the Hn, the Mosterts, the Hills, the Waddles, no one off script?
I would say Michael Wilson would be the one guy I'd pay attention to as a cheaper option. The Miami passing attack with Tua on the field is as concentrated as it gets. You don't get a lot of extra trickle down from Tua, from Tyreek and Waddle. After that, that's at least half to 2/3 of the target share right there on the top. So unless it's the two wide receivers or the running back, you're not going to see a lot of passing volume to those secondary receivers for Miami. You're going to have to get it from Arizona. And Michael Wilson's a very underrated player. 4,900 is a good price for a guy who has touchdown equity, who benefits greatly from Marvin Harrison running all those big boy routes with double teams and bracket coverage. And of course, Trey McBride in the middle of the field at 5,500 is sorely underpriced. That's
I love that.
I mean, for guys that play that big of a role in the passing game, like like a Trey McBride, like a Travis Kelsey, those tight ends, you have to compare them as a flex play to other wide receivers cost wise. Your points per dollar value is a lot higher for that kind of player. So yeah, I would say Wilson if I'm going with anybody, but the studs are going to eat in this game. I'd rather kind of just attack the leverage points, which is on the side of Arizona.
Yeah, I like your calls. I'm a little afraid of Marvin Harrison Jr. too. Coming off the concussion,
Lots of upside. Lots of
upside.
upside.
I'm a little worried though. Yeah, we'll see.
I'm not at 1%. At 1%, that's
1%,
disrespectful.
no, it's the price.
6,800 for a guy with that upside. I'm gonna have some decent amount of Marv in the pool. I'm not gonna get crazy because his likelihood of hitting that ceiling performance is not high, but his ceiling is still 20 plus points. So you can't really say no thank you on the Marvin Harrison superstardom. He's still got that in him, and especially against a Miami defense that's banged up. You can definitely go that route.
Well, I'm gonna let you go that route because I'm gonna dip to somebody who's a little, maybe has a little better matchup, but is at the same price. Transitioning to a matchup that is advantageous. I put Amon Ra on our cover for a reason. There's no Sneed this week. Sorry, Sneed, you're out. And we have an at-home Detroit team that's favored by over 10 points. Is this just going to be a run fest, or is Amon Ra going to get a chance to eat in this game?
Both. It's. I think you're more likely to see Amon Ra and or Tim Patrick and Khalif Raymond. Those guys. Here's the thing about Tennessee: very good defense, solid on both against pass and run. Detroit's obviously their style is run forward, run first, set up the play action for Jared Goff. Jared Goff's play action passer rating is almost perfect this season. He's almost unstoppable off play action. That's because they've been able to run the ball at will about against every team they've faced. So yes to the running backs, and then of course Amon-Ra St. Brown. Without a Jamison Williams to take the top off the defense, those little short and intermediate routes over the middle of the field are going to be even more important for the Lions this week, because they're going to have to lean on those stars that they got there last year with. Sam Laporta, wake up, buddy! It's time to play some ball.
We need you, Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy ball game, and the Sun God. Yeah, those are two guys that you definitely want to have in your player pool in mass, because Jared Goff's going to have to sling it. This is going to be a pretty good game to maybe take the points on Tennessee. It sounds crazy, but Detroit beating a team by 11.5, that's a big number to cover a spread on.
I'm gonna take it, which is fine. I do love your Tim Patrick call though at 3,500.
That's one of the best value wide receivers on the entire slate.
He's a big boy. He can get there and get in the secondary and make some moves, make some plays. So I love that 3,500 call. What do you think about? There's obviously no DeAndre Hopkins now. Tyler Boyd at 3,900. Calvin Ridley, man, he's just been dust. What do you think about Boyd though? They're both 5% rostered. Boyd's 1,300 cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, I like Ridley a lot more. But if we look at what happened the last couple of weeks, even with Hopkins in the lineup, it was Nick Westbrook-Akine who scored the touchdowns the last 2 weeks, and he's 3,000 flat. I think he's better than Tyler Boyd at this point. Tyler Boyd is a good player, or was a good player. What has he done for us at all this year? Absolutely nothing. Nick Westbrook-Akine at least has done something recently where we can say, hey, yeah, there's something. So if it's a value play, I like Tim Patrick. I like Khalif Raymond, who he was absolutely stellar last week. Did you see what he did to Stephon Gilmore? He put him on skates, like ice skates, down on his bottom and torched him.
It was sexy, as the kids say.
Yeah. So Tyler Boyd, 3,900. It's kind of in that dead area for me where I'm not really looking to score a wide receiver at 3,900 at all, and especially not one who hasn't done anything all season.
Yeah, and also though, in defense of him, you might not get a lot of time. We'll see. I know that they lost Hutchinson, but you might have to just rely on Tyler Boyd as an outlet because you're about to get run over by the Detroit defense. So, but we'll see. We'll see.
Is it Levis? Is it Rudolph? Or is it neither?
You know what? If you're playing the defense, it could be the Lions. Let's see. Is anyone playing the defense for the Lions? No, if they're expensive, and also the Broncos are about $100 cheaper, and they're up against the Panthers. I think that's a better matchup. That's where most of the
Denver might be the chalkiest defense of all time,
and rightly so. And rightly so. They might have to revert back to the old rookie last year, Bryce Young.
Oh, they already are.
Oh yeah, it's not good. So yeah. Do you like? Oops, sorry. Do you like anybody in this matchup at the running back position? Tony Pollard should get like all of the carries. Just given the fact that there's no Tajay Spears, 8%, and then you got Gibbs and Monty, both of them. I like Monty. I know Monty's a little banged up compared to Gibbs, but $1,000 cheaper. And if they're just going to wear out the clock, I mean, give Monty the rock.
Monty is less expensive and less rostered than Tony Pollard. Detroit is one of the top 5 run defenses in the entire league. So don't play Tony Pollard.
That's your favorite player, by the way, too. So like you're looking for a chance to play him. So I gave you a softball, and you're hitting it out of the park, or you're bunting compared to if people
play Monty.
You know what I mean?
Play Monty. Monty is a smash pick in this game. Every time we tell you to play Monty, he scores like 1 or 2 touchdowns. He's running dudes over. Jahmyr Gibbs, of course, play Jahmyr Gibbs every week. That's just no-brainer status. That dude's a stud. But Monty is the thunder to that lightning. He's the Knuckles to the Sonic and Knuckles. This is a game where if it does get out of hand, then the running game for Detroit is going to be 200 plus yards, and that could be evenly split, and we're all happy. Yeah, all the stacking.
Just building a little bit of Laporta, Gibbs, and Akina, and then I'm going to go get some Laporta and here you go, David Montgomery. There we go. He's got to have a little bit of I like this one, the 14-2, because you've got Westbrook, Akine, Montgomery, and Laporta. That's sexy.
Yep, I agree.
Let me help. I'll throw in Jared Goff here for a little fun time. Give him a little 1%.
We're talking. Well, he has been on fire this year. Between he and Derrick Henry carrying my Scott Fishbowl 14 lineup.
I picked up Goff in one of my home league, and I'm starting him. It's him or Kyler Murray.
Okay.
I'm not really a huge Kyler Murray mark. You can talk me out of it, but I just think the only thing it could be is that the Lions just run. They don't even need him. But I still think they like at home. They like to score. They've sucked for so long. The Lions like to score 47 points at home and make their fans feel happy and go home and just trounce on somebody. They love it. It doesn't bother them. It doesn't.
Or they go to Dallas and do it.
Right. They're not trying to hurt. They don't care about hurting anybody's feelings. These are pro football players. Dan Campbell's a fucking man. That's the man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is a overmatched Tennessee Titans team that's banged up. They got bad quarterback play. The defense is good though, so I do think that they cover that spread just by holding Detroit's offense under a big number.
Yeah, I'm gonna pivot for a second and just go to my account because not that I'm trying to shamelessly show, but I did do a series of tweets today, and so I can get to them. Yeah, here, these are what I think is going to happen in the games via meme. And this is what I put up for the Tennessee Titans and the Detroit Lions.
This is the first time I'm seeing this, so that's great.
Thank you. Yeah, this is real. This is a real picture of a woman who posed right in front of a twister. Got back in the car.
Move a little to the right, Barb.
Hey, listen, honey. I gotta tell you, you're making it take longer. You're making it take.
It's
longer.
only an EF2. You'll be fine.
Listen, if it gets your hair's in a don't move right there. I got it. Fucking nail. Let's get in the car. So yeah,
it's not like they made movies about this sort of thing.
No, they would never do that. That's Hollywood wouldn't exploit people's dying experiences. So all right, speaking of people's dying experiences, that's a great transition into Baker Mayfield's receiving core, which for some reason is more hotly rostered right now than anybody I've seen. So we got Kate Otten 20 4%. McMillan,
Oh my
19%.
God.
Holy shit. That's chalk you got to block, folks.
Yeah, K Dotton in a cash game. Yes, that's a great pick. 3,500 for a guy who's going to get lots of targets. Do it in a tournament. Don't do that. Maybe 1 out of 10 lineups is fine for K Dotton in a tournament if you're building max out 150 lineups or 12 lineups or 20 lineups, regardless of like, just don't go over your skis on a guy that everybody else is going to have. That's just too high. And Jalen McMillan, solid player. Shout out to the Washington Huskies. I hate your guts because an Oregon Ducks fan, but McMillan's got game. He hasn't showed it yet this year. Trey Palmer, not so much game. The one guy I'm surprised isn't chalky is Sterling Shepard. He's the best wide receiver on this team now. We've seen him be the number 1 wide receiver for an NFL team, unlike the other 2 guys.
Yeah, I mean, he is
Shepard, 6%. That is your cash that's money in the bank, value 3,800. That's a smash pick.
Yeah.
Smash pick Sterling Shepard. He can play all 3 positions. He's a Matt Harmon reception perception. Shout out Matt Harmon, friend of the show, has been on the show multiple times. He says Sterling Shepard's the guy. I believe Matt Harmon. He kind of does this for a living.
Right. He's the wide receiver whisperer. And Sterling
He's
Shepard,
the wide receiver savant.
This points per dollar here is one of the best for the whole week. It's the darker the green, the better. It's like the money. You want more money. So I like this.
We like dark green. We like 13.6 optimal rate, and we love 7.6% optimal leverage.
Yeah. And
boom, 4% boom rate, 4% boom rate. Good night. And you're not rostering this guy at 3,800? Are you nuts? You're playing Jalen McMillan, who hasn't done anything as a rookie yet. For that, you're playing Trey Palmer, who hasn't even seen the field much this year because of Jalen McMillan, because of Sterling Shepard. It doesn't make any sense. Shepard is one of the greatest what ifs in NFL history. If he hadn't gone through so many injuries with the New York Giants, we'd be talking about this guy as a perennial Pro Bowl player, a wide receiver. It's unfortunate that he went through so much to get to this point, but now everybody's dropped around him and he's the guy. And Baker Mayfield still got balls of steel. That dude is one of my favorite football players out there. Baker Mayfield is not going to get downgraded that much. Sneaky stack Baker Mayfield, Sterling Shepard, and then run it back with Bijan or something just to feel something.
Just to see if it moves. Yeah. I mean, if
it'll move with Bijan.
Well,
Bijan always makes it move.
Bijan's going to be moving in this game. Let me jump around here. I'm caught between a wide receiver and a hard place. Yeah, Bijan, 12% roster, 72%. I like it.
I mean, it is a pass funnel defense. We expect the Falcons to be able to pass the ball on a terrible Bucs secondary. But Bijan's Bijan. He's a big play waiting to happen, and he can do this as a receiver. Maybe they don't run right into Vita Vea like most teams don't. Most teams don't even chance running between the tackles against the Bucs because of Vita Vea. It's not good football to run right into the strength of one of the best players to ever live at his position. Bijan Robinson running off tackle, running swing routes, running angle routes, running wheel routes. This defense, the secondary for Tampa Bay, isn't just bad on the outside corners. It's bad everywhere. They are so thin. They are so banged up. And the guys that they're running out there are getting torched on a weekly basis. I think Bijan's a sneaky play here, even though I do love Drake London. I do like Kyle Pitts. I do like Darnell Mooney. You can't say that Bijan doesn't have more upside than all of those guys.
Oh, no, I think he does for sure. And I did build a nice little game stack here with Baker and Sterling. Then I'm running it back with Drake and Bijan. Now you can take one of them away and go, okay, it's concentrated. I'm just going to go Drake, right? Or I'm going to switch it around and I'm just going to go Bijan. It's going to be concentrated, and you can do that. But I like both of them, and so I'll just do two of each there. And then you got to get your boy involved. I'll do one here with the double tight ends with Pitts and K-Dot, because that's not going to be a thing.
Oh, that's a good one. That's
not going to be a thing in real life. So you can do that because you're breaking.
I mean, looking at points per dollar, they're both undervalued.
I like it a lot too with Sterling in there and Baker. That's a little sexy stack that you invented. So we'll play that.
I like that. That one right, the second one right there. Well, that's a 3x2. That's a beastly one. It's okay. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, which one am I looking at here? I messed it up because I got this
Yeah,
one.
it's the first. It's the first one right there. Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. Want to make sure I get that.
Oh baby, that's fun. That's a fun one.
This game here is
Shootout leverage central. Play this game. This is your leverage shootout of the slate.
it's very interesting that there's not a lot of rostership on these players. I know they're expensive, but still, what?
Shh. Quiet. Quiet.
I mean,
We've
Grant
moved the chalk
Calcaterra.
before. We have moved the chalk before. And so if you don't shut up, we're going to ruin this for everybody watching. But yeah, this is the leverage boom shootout of the week. Play all the top weapons in this game. Mix and match, get creative. You want both of these quarterbacks. You want both of the running backs. I'm talking about Saquon Barkley and Chase Brown. You want A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You definitely want Jamar Chase with T. Higgins not likely to play with the quad injury he picked up in practice yesterday. Andre Yoshivas. Yes. This game's got all sorts of shootout potential. Neither one of these defenses can stop the pass. Both of these offenses can throw the piss out of the ball. Yes. This game's going to absolutely blast off into the stratosphere. I think this will be the highest total of the week, 70 plus. This is going to be the slate breaking, whether you have Burrow or Jalen Hurts. They're both going to be in optimal lineups tomorrow. This is the one.
Grant Calcaterra. How are you thinking in terms of his $3,200? He's a starter with no Goddard.
Very, very low upside.
More of a blocker.
But yeah, if 3,200 is all you have left and you're just saving the tight end for that, then yeah, go for that one. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna score double digits tomorrow. That I just don't think that's in the cards for Calcaterra. He's a 10-point guy.
I'm a big Devonta Smith fan here at 2%. That's crazy.
Yes. Well, one catch last week. He didn't complain. You know what he said? Yeah, that's how it goes. We were winning the game. The game flowed a different way, but we won. And that's what the Slim Reaper would say, because the Slim Reaper the next week is going to go out there with a vengeance against a piss poor Bengals defense.
You don't need to complain in today's NFL and be an asshole. You can just wait your turn and then say thank you. I'll have some more.
And guess what? He gives us 2% Devontae Smith against a terrible defense in a very high total game where, guess what? Even if A.J. Brown has another huge game like he did last week, that doesn't mean Devontae Smith can't also have a huge game. They're both going to eat. They're both going to eat.
For sure. Here in Washington, they do a touchdown parlay on the local radio show, and somebody picked Devonta Smith to score a touchdown, and then somebody else also picked A.J. Brown, and they're like, "That's kind of a trick." They're like, "No, this is the game for it. This is trust the science."
Yeah. Those little 2x1 stacks that you got there, those work both ways. You can do the Hertz and you can do the Burrow. Just flip flop them. They're gonna take off. I'm telling you, this game is an absolute smash factor. That's the one I'm going to be paying most attention to. Don't steal my players in the Millionaires Tournament, Scott. I swear to God.
He's done it before. He'll do it again.
Yeah, you asshole.
I
know Mike Collins is probably playing Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase because he always does.
He gets hard for Joe Burrow, man. I think that's his bottle of lotion has a picture of Joe Burrow on it.
He stays hard.
Yeah. Speaking of staying hard, Jordan Love is one of the most rostered QBs here, and
Sheesh.
I love him
Still not
this
bad.
week. What do you think
Still
about
not
his
bad.
weapons as well?
It's 9% is still not bad. And yes, you should go out there and play Jaden Reed as much as you can get your hands on because there's no reason for that guy to be under 7K.
Not at all. And also, I think if my math does me right, I think if I'm going to my premium tools here, if you don't have a section of premium tools, kids, then I can't help you. But I
Premium tools folder on your browser's
right
shortcuts tab.
you gotta have them logged in. You gotta know what you're doing.
That is high level stuff.
Thank you. This is one of my premium tools. It's from NFL Fantasy, and the Jaguars defense gives up 40
You
points.
don't need, and also you don't need premium tools to see that the Jags suck on defense.
No, oh no, you don't need nothing but your good old you could be like one-eyed Willie. You could still see it. You know what I mean? Just yeah.
The Jags can't tackle or cover.
Not good, kids. It's good for you if you're playing the Jags, and the Packers are playing the Jags. So,
oh man,
but nobody knows.
Matt LaFleur is licking his chops right now.
I mean, Romeo Dobbs is 3%. Christian Watson is 1%. What?
Dontavian Wicks 1%. How is Brian Thomas only 8%? That's what I want to know.
He's gonna have to eat. They're gonna have to throw the ball. They throw the ball like 65% of the time, by the way. And Etienne's hurt, so Bigsby is gonna be probably the main focus of the offense. They like to.
Bigsby's 2%. I must be the 2% because I have Bigsby everywhere.
Yeah, I think this game gets there.
I believe the Packers 49. Are second worst at defending running backs in the league. Go to your advanced metrics and pull that one up. Green Bay run defense, or at least fantasy points against running backs, dead last. 31st, I think.
Yeah. I'm definitely playing my boys over here. Tank to Bigsby 6,300, and then if you like tight ends, if you like tight ends in here, you got Tucker Kraft at 4,600. He's available too.
Oh, whew.
See that touchdown catch last week? That was sexy. I mean, that was full extension in the end zone, big old arms out. That was Randy Moss-esque.
It's not bad for a jackrabbit. Stack it.
Yeah. I'm not putting any with Trevor Lawrence in it, but I'll definitely put some Jordan Love. I'll do a run back with
There's too many good quarterbacks on the slate to get cute with Trevor Lawrence. Does Lawrence have upside? Yes, but not as much as about maybe a half dozen other guys on the slate in that same price range. So yeah, don't get cute. Play some Jordan Love. There's other guys in that 6K range, the 5K range that are better than Trevor Lawrence for fantasy. I don't think the Jags get blown out in this game because of how well they're going to be able to run the ball with Tank Bigsby.
I agree. I put Bigsby in our little 4-man stack here. Not that you have to have 4.
And Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas Jr.
Oh, yeah.
He's so good. He's so good.
If only somebody would have written about him in a column in August called Wide Receiver 2 Theory that lets you know that you could go and get these guys for free in your fantasy drafts because no one was onto them yet. Never mind. I digress. Moving.
Did you see what he did to my guy Christian Gonzalez last week?
Yeah.
Christian Gonzalez is not a slouch. Twice for touchdowns.
Yeah, and
that doesn't happen to Christian Gonzalez.
That one long bomb catch too was pretty sexy. It was like a 50-yard.
And that was perfect coverage too. That was. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is not bad, guys. He might look bad for stretches of games that might cost them the game, but what a dime.
He's a bonehead decision maker is what he is. He's a great athlete. He can throw the ball. He just at times makes decisions. You go, what the? Oh. Aaron Rodgers has been doing that a lot lately, and he's going up against New England. Half their team's injured or hurt. Breece Hall getting all the love. 30. That's a lot of chalk. That's the darkest red I've seen in a long time. Negative 18%.
I can't
leverage.
Literally with the resolution. I can't see his number.
30%. 30%.
Yeah, I mean I get it, but we don't have to do that.
No, you don't have to do that.
I'll do a little bit of that.
I mean, I'll have him, but I think I like Bijan at that same price range as well. And then if you're gonna pay up, you could get Saquon a little bit more, or if you want expensive running backs. So
I like expensive running backs. That's probably the one I will probably fade a little bit, like you said. But yeah, Brees Hall's good. If Brees Hall's going to be that good, there's no reason not to play a little bit of Braylon Allen there.
I mean, if they're gonna blow them out, and you think the Brees Hall, they're not gonna use him to abuse him in this matchup. If
No,
they're gonna get him in and out.
This is the exact type of game where we're pissed off that Brees Hall didn't get 70+% of the snaps. They're running Braylon out on the goal line like they did the first 4 weeks with moron Nathaniel Hackett calling plays.
Yeah, Mike bemoaned that. He's just said finally they're back into using Brees Hall like he's supposed to be used. So,
and it took Todd Downing, who was not an upgrade from Nathaniel Hackett. It took a guy as poor as Todd Downing to tell this offense how to run personnel out there.
Yeah,
Yikes.
Interesting. What do you think about the wide receivers for New England? They have a new quarterback, Drake May, and he throws the rock. That's what he does. He throws the football. He throws it a lot. Last week, you saw
he's got a lot of cowboy in him.
Yeah, I like it. He slings and he slings that thing, as the kids say. But Demario Douglas, 4,700. Kendrick Bourne, 3,500. Booty, 3,600. Anybody you're interested in here? Anybody you KJ Osborne? KJ Osborne was almost cut from the team last week before he caught his touchdown. He wasn't even gonna dress, right? Someone got hurt in warm-ups or something. He got his touchdown. So interesting there with KJ.
I don't think Gerard Mayo realized that Kendrick Bourne was a football player. Because
hadn't met him yet.
Kendrick Bourne is the best wide receiver on this team. He always has been. He just got hurt. And the fact that Gerard Mayo was about to cut him tells you how terrible of a coach he is, because if you watch any tape at all from last year, Kendrick Bourne was the class of that receiving core. Not saying much. Very low bar. But it was him and it was Pop Douglas. And those are the only two guys I'm interested in. And it's not much. The Jets' pass defense is still really good.
Yeah, it's true.
It's still really tough. Drake May is in for a very rude awakening. He had a decent stretch to start against a weak schedule. It's time to play some big boy, snap your chin strap on football, because the Jets defense is coming after him, and they are really good. Really good. So I think the Jets, if anything, run away with this thing. You get a little more Braylon Allen than we think, and maybe a lot less passing volume. So Aaron Rodgers, I'm not playing him just because I don't think they'll need to air it out. Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams kind of go by the wayside there, because unless they score touchdowns, you're not going to get enough volume to pay off in DFS. You're not going to be finding those gargantuan fantasy performances from a team that's just going to play defense, run the ball, win the game.
I need an official take from you. Did Aaron Rodgers eat the booger? Yes or no? Mike Collins says he did not eat a booger. I say he did eat a booger, or he tried to eat the booger. Maybe it fell off, but or like he bit his nail and tried to eat the nail. Something happened. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think he ate anything, but I think that maybe like a flake of skin was caught on the end of his nose. It didn't look like there was any like picking to eat. And so no, I believe him when he said he's never eaten one, because it's just, he's not that kind of guy.
Yeah,
there's a lot of guys like that, like, but
I think probably eats boogers. That's what
I believe a lot of NFL quarterbacks do. I don't think Aaron's one of them.
I'm with you.
He's a little prim and proper.
I'm still gonna spread the word he's a booger eater, because it's funny. But
it is funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And the way he said it was like, he's like, it doesn't look good for me. I mean, I realize what it looks like, but I've never eaten a booger.
Yeah.
So he acknowledges that it definitely looked like he did.
Incriminating. It honestly looked like he had like he bit his nail or something, or he picked and then he went to just it was like a fidget. It was more of a fidgety like.
This actually was a Seinfeld episode. Remember when he was scratching the other side of his nose in traffic, and his girlfriend was on the other side and saw this from the other side?
Oh yeah.
And she broke up with him because she saw him picking his nose in traffic. He's like, no, there was no pick. There was no pick.
Well, in this game, there probably will be no picks because the Ravens' defense is gutted and they're not playing anybody. Basically, they're starting 8 men. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, there will be picks. You know why?
Jameis is playing.
Yeah. Mr. 3030 himself.
Speaking of Jameis, I'm definitely playing him against you in our clash.
That's a good play.
Yeah, it's
He's
for
a
fun.
fantasy
It's for
football
funsies,
superstar.
and I'm stacking him up here with his boy Jerry Judy. Cedric Tillman getting a little bit more love here at 3,300. How are you deciding between these two if you are playing them?
I'm not.
Never, he says.
Terrible.
Even though the
No,
Ravens
I'm not.
secondary is one of the worst in the league, and they're all hurt.
Yeah, I don't care. It's still the Browns.
Okay.
And Jerry Judy is getting open, but he hasn't caught anything since Nam.
What about your boy Ninjoku, who has caught a lot since Nam?
That's a name that's in my pool for sure. But Andrews at 1% at 4K. You can chalk that. I'm already playing a shit ton of Mark Andrews at 4K.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
An
You guys,
absolute shit
people
ton.
stop paying attention.
Yeah, which is fine for me.
Hey, let's win money. Yeah, I like it too. I'll play him as well.
I like money.
It makes no sense.
I like money.
Life is like
This
a
is one of the
lot
best.
money.
One of the best tight ends in the league is 4K, and nobody has him. If you're a DFS player and you don't play Mark Andrews this week, you're dumb.
This might
You're
be
dumb.
a Millie Maker play.
Even if he doesn't do anything, it was still the right play because of the leverage.
I like playing both of these tight ends in this matchup. Like, play them both. There you go. Boom.
Yeah. Not bloody likely.
I'm gonna build a stack just because you said that. So there's that.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun game to watch. Baltimore, with all their injuries, still put up a 50 burger on this Cleveland defense because Lamar is Lamar, and I'm gonna play so much Lamar. I'm gonna fade Derrick Henry because I'm crazy.
Are you stacking Lamar with anybody like Bateman?
Bateman, Andrews, Zay Flowers, yeah, all the above. This is leverage city. It's 7% Lamar. 7% Lamar. Are you joking?
People are afraid of the price because he's 8K. They're just shying away, and that's stupid.
This is the number one offense in the NFL by yards and by points, and they're going against the Browns. I mean, what are we doing?
I mean,
here?
Rashad Bateman is just there for the taking. It's just it's not.
And
it's
I'm
criminal.
taking him. I'm taking him 4,300 for a guy who scores touchdowns every game. I just think this slate, if it goes how everybody says it goes, the chalk doesn't make any sense. Like, everybody says, oh, the Ravens are going to light it up against the Browns, and yet nobody's playing Lamar Jackson.
Well, I mean, look at this stack, right? You got Lamar, Rashad, Mark Andrews, and Njoku, 21-4. So, like, nobody is over 6 in that stack. So you've got 8K. For 8K, you got Rashad 8-3, Rashad and Mark Andrews.
Sense. I mean, just let's channel Denny Carter here and say, in this economy,
right? In Biden/Harris's economy,
hey,
it looks like inflation is finally coming down. Because I'll take a piece of this action. If this game even gets out of hand a little bit,
want a piece of this action?
Dude, I wish I could come through the teleportation. We have no food at our house. We're going shopping tomorrow to the Costco, and there's nothing, like literally no eggs. There's no cereal. There's no chips. There's no cheese. I went to go to Safeway get some desserts for a party, the Halloween party my daughter got hurt and didn't go to. And my wife's already there, so she got the desserts. But I got some cheese, and I made some quesadillas tonight because that's all I could muster.
Mustard.
Yeah, mustard. All right.
That's all you could Colonel Mustard.
Yeah. All right. What do you think about this game here, Indianapolis versus Houston? I'll show you my meme I used for it because, you can get my thoughts on it. And
it's what the kids want. The kids want to see the memes. It's a meme economy. Oh, yeah, I see it now. Dwight. Just get in the coffin.
Yeah. And it's Indianapolis.
It's
just get in the coffin.
It's so true. The Colts, my God, what a disappointment. Every year we say the Colts are going to be something. And then they go out there and they do the Colts thing.
Apparently, only Joe Mixon is rostered here, and Stephon Diggs. But Tank Dell, people are scaring away from him, and then C.J. Stroud even only 3%. Do they think this is going to be a low scoring game? What's going on here?
I think it'll be a low scoring game too. I'll take the under in this one just because I don't think the Colts are going to do much against this Houston defense. But I also think Houston maybe doesn't really play too much outside of themselves. They don't air it out because they don't have Nico Collins. Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell are fine as a duo, but they're not optimal as a duo. CJ Stroud hasn't been that great this year. He's kind of had some regression. But guess who is the best player on this offense and has been since week one? Your boy from NorCal, Joe Mixon.
Yeah, you
So
love Joe
I
Mixon.
like.
You gotta love Joe
I
Mixon.
think, and we called him the last 2 weeks when he was top 5 running back both times. I mean, who's counting? But Joe Mixon has been our call the last 2 weeks. He's the stud in this offense that makes it go boom. Boom rate's super high. Joe Mixon at 18% is a better play than Brees Hall at 30%. So yeah, go out and do that.
Yeah.
And I believe I'm playing him against you.
Yeah, and
I believe we're playing him against each
playing
other.
him against you. So I think
We matched 2 running backs for the second week in a row.
What's the other running back we matched?
Kenneth Walker.
God damn it!
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
there's nothing we can do about it.
No, unless we did a draft where we could only pick different players, but then it's a big pain in the ass, and it takes.
I don't want to do that. But it also we don't talk to each other before we do this. We don't watch any other shows before we do this.
I didn't look at your stuff. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. I saw you texted
We
me,
don't.
and immediately I went and I put a lineup in. I didn't even look at your lineups. So
Right. Yeah, I do the same thing. It's like sometimes I build lineup before or after you. It doesn't matter. It's like I'm just putting my guys in there.
yeah.
And it's funny that 2 weeks in a row now we've matched 2 running backs.
But you got good taste. And the running backs were the ones that scored the most points that week. So hey, we'll take it. Speaking of running backs, 18% here for J.K. the Dobbins,
And we're not kidding.
Yeah.
We're not kidding. Yeah, you should play J.K. Dobbins. The Saints can't stop anything on the ground, at all. I mean, just look what Javonte Williams did to him last week. It was ugly. The Saints' run defense is atrocious. You should play any running back against them. J.K. Dobbins in the pool for sure.
Yeah, they've given up over 1,000 yards so far combined receiving and rushing. That's bad. 8 touchdowns. Ooh, that's good. Just at least a touchdown to the running back, guaranteed in the offense in this economy, Denny would say. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Kamara to me is just too expensive. I'm sorry, but
Houston's going to shut him down. That's all they got.
Yeah, right. You can key in on him. 7,600. Why?
I don't know. Because when everybody else is on that offense, he's really good.
What do you think about the wide receiver situation here? We've got Bub Means,
No.
4K. Are you into Bub?
Nope.
Hey,
No,
hey,
there
Bub.
is no wide receiver I want to play in this game unless Olave is active.
Yeah, this is an ugly game. Olave 6,400.
If Olave is active, he's undervalued and under rostered. It'll spike at kickoff.
Yeah,
But,
for sure. 2%
I believe he's
grow.
clearing concussion protocol. I believe he cleared protocol, so he will play. But that's the only wide receiver worth even looking at in this game. Do not play Chargers wide receivers in this game. It's stupid. It's just stupid. Especially not Lad McConkey at 21%. Good Lord, people. What are we doing? Will Disley's better than Lad McConkey.
Only Chris Olave remains from that whole game. All the wide receivers, I wiped them. They're not going to be in the Sims. They've been uninvited.
You can put Will Disley in though, that tight end.
He is not being wiped. He's being left alone.
Yeah, leave him in there.
Yeah,
leave him in there.
Okay. Next matchup here, we've got a Buffalo heading.
This is a good one.
Yeah, big time afternoon 4 p.m. game. I like it. I like it a lot.
You need more Bobo.
You need Bobo because there's not going to be any DK Metcalf.
Did you see what I did in my league? So for the viewers, I am facing Field Yates in this week's matchup in my League of Champions. Field Yates and I are the only 2 Jake Bobo stands out there. I met Jake Bobo at the Shrine Bowl a couple years ago. Great guy. Uh, and of course, Field Yates is the only really prominent Jake Bobo stan. And I had DK Metcalf, who's doubtful to play. And it's a really deep, like I believe there's 4 starting flex spots in my league. So you can go pretty deep with your flex spots. And so I picked up Jake Bobo off waivers, and I'm starting him against his boy, Field Yates. And so Bo is playing Bobo, and we're going to Bobo Field Yates this week.
I like that. And then you can talk some shit and say, hey, man, your boy is the one who gave me the win against you.
Yeah, I tagged both of them, and I said, here, you know what to do, Jake. You know what to do.
I love it. Well, besides that, Kenneth Walker, to me, 7%. Are people, I mean, are they scared by the price? Because he's somebody I'm paying for on this matchup. He's the best player they have right now.
He's going up against you. I believe Buffalo is second worst against the run. Second worst. Kenneth Walker is what they call good at football. And he has the footballers gave him an awesome nickname. He has a couple good nicknames, but they call him Bones Walker. And Bones Walker is going to obliterate the Bills front. So Seattle, very sneaky upset pick at home against Buffalo, who's a good team, obviously. Seattle's got lots of offensive weapons, even without DK Metcalf. You got JSN, you got Lockett, you got both Walker and Charbonnet are live in this game. And Geno Smith, it is 2022 again. Geno Smith is balling out, top 10 quarterback in fantasy. If you're not playing Geno Smith this week, I can't help you because Buffalo is going to get a lot of the chalk with Josh Allen, well deserved. The Seattle defense is it's not bad. Mike McDonald is a great coach.
You know,
I'm gonna be there.
What I like is here you can get JSN, and Lockett's even cheaper at 5,600.
I know JSN is almost too expensive for me because I don't think he has that ceiling that we're looking for in DFS. Am I going to play him in my season long managed leagues? Yeah, that's a big step up for him. But Jake Bobo, 3,300, 4% owned. Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. It's too much fun.
Bobo.
It's too much fun.
Are you stacking in this game? Kidding. We are.
Yep.
We're stacking.
Khalil Shakir, Amari Cooper, not just Josh Allen, but James Cook. James Cook, yes. Dueling banjo running backs with Walker and Cook. That sounds so much fun. We're breezing right through this slate. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You know who might actually do really well in this game without DK is Noah Fant. What do you think, Scott? He's locked in building these stacks.
I'm putting him in. I do agree with you. And if you go look at his rostership, I don't think it's as high as it should be. Only 1%. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. That is a great value right there. He could get you 18 points or something like that, and 6-7 times your 3,700.
Yep, you're correct. How's Josh Allen only 2% though? I don't understand that.
I mean, this whole game is undervalued. Everybody is in this game.
This is your other shootout leverage game. Philadelphia, Cincinnati's one. This is the other one for me. So yeah, Josh Allen 2%. There's your leverage buster. My God, what are people doing out there? They're not playing Josh Allen.
They're playing nobody in this game. The rostership, the highest is 7%, and then if you go down, to 2% for Josh Allen, 1% Kincaid. Like they're playing nobody in this game. Even Mac Hollins at 30, 200. Then he should be more priced. He's got a touchdown this year. He's got that 18 points, 16 points. He could take one to the house and elbow somebody in the face. There's an opportunity here. What's going on?
I'm not with you on Mac Hollins, but just about everybody else I am.
I mean, he could. I'm just saying at 0.4%. That's crazy.
Very unlikely. But this game, looking at the projected rostership for this game as a whole, means that you should be heavier on this game than everybody else. That's just my opinion. You should go extra exposure to this game because that's going to set you apart.
And if you pick a couple good running backs in the first matchup, and then you can get maybe Walker in your flex, it's expensive flex, but put him down in there. Then you got a jackhammer at the end of the 4 p.m. games coming. You know you got some upside for sure.
Yeah, there are a lot of late swap options in that game.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of the late options here, apparently it's a lower total, but nobody's playing anybody but Kareem Hunt in this matchup. So it's
this
just
game's gonna
Kareem
be so
Hunt.
boring.
Yeah.
Brock Bowers is the one I'm playing.
I'm playing him
Shocker.
against you.
Most expensive tight end on the board. He's worth it. He's the best tight end in football right now, and,
Right.
and I know everybody's surprised except for me and a couple others, but yeah, I'm not surprised.
Are you playing DeAndre Hopkins fresh off the trade here? He's only price wise. Hold on, let's go to this. Oops, I'm on the wrong team. Hold on. He is 4,900. That's not a bad price.
Yeah, I mean, I think this game's going to be super low scoring. I don't believe in either one of these offenses scoring a lot of points. I'm fading this entire game. Give me Brock Bowers. Give me a little bit of Kareem Hunt, but other than that, I'm not touching anybody. I think this game is radioactive, toxic, under energy. It's not going to be fun. This game is going to be completely unwatchable.
Do you want to see my meme for it?
Yes, now I really do. Watching you try to handle technology is enthralling.
Well, here's the problem. When I use the mute and unmute buttons on my Stream Deck, it, for some fucking reason, decides to change the pages on what I have over here for some reason. So I don't know. I hate that. I'm not happy with that. So that's why I'm up and down on the pages so often. So
Oh well,
yeah.
Goodfellas looks funny.
It's an angry Patrick Mahomes, and he wants to kill the Raiders because last time Crosby was getting all up in his face, and then Antonio Smith went on the podcast this summer and said there's like a Jordan rules for Patrick Mahomes, and they're going to rough him up this year. So, and then the NFL put one of the most roughing the passer heavy referees on this game to watch Patrick Mahomes back. So it's just a bunch of posturing. So I think Patrick Mahomes he's out for blood. He's angry, and you don't want to make Kermit angry, So
no, he's gonna put extra ketchup on his steak.
Maybe we finally see our guy Travis Kelce catching a touchdown. I doubt it, but maybe. Who knows?
God, I hope.
It's just Taylor Swift bringing in the money for the family now. He's just kind of a disappointment. So I'm sorry, Travis.
He's making lots of money. He's doing fine.
Yeah. What do you think about this game?
He doesn't need his help. Denver. I was just talking about Denver.
Oh yeah. What do you think about this?
Play lots of Denver players and not any Carolina players.
What about this 14% Cortland? 14% Bo Nix. Is that too much?
It's higher than I want to be on him, but I'm definitely going to have him. I mean, that's a dual threat at 5,600 against an atrocious defense that's already given up on the year. Bo Nix is a good upside play this week. Will I go that much exposure in my player pool? Probably not. Maybe 10%. But yeah, Bo Nix, Troy Franklin, great value wide receiver there with big play upside of 4,100. Those are the two I'm playing against you. And then I'm going heavy at Javonte Williams again because he's hitting his stride and he's good at football.
Yeah, this is one of the most rostered. If you look between, we'll go all three. Yeah.
This is your cash game onslaught. Really, that's what I was looking at. In tournaments, I'm probably not going to get too exposed to the Broncos because they're not that good either. Their defense is awesome, but their defense might be like 50% rostered this week. So, yeah, do your cash game onslaught with the Broncos because Carolina has already given up. But just don't go over your skis in tournament play because you're not going to be that happy with what Denver has to offer. They're not that great.
No, and surprisingly, they're only 6%. So the defense, there is a value there.
If you can spend up doing the stack with Javante and the Broncos DST is probably your best option because Javante is going to be chalky, and I expect by kickoff the Broncos will be chalky too. It's we're talking about Bryce Young with no good wide receivers. Deontay's out, Thielen's out, everyone's out. Nobody's playing for the Panthers except for Bryce Young. He's going to be taking snaps with no offensive line and no receivers. It's just going to be him against one of the best defenses in the NFL. It's not going to go well. Uh, so yeah, it's worth it to stack those two because even though they're chalky individually, if you stack them together, you at least gain a little bit of leverage off the play. But don't go too over your skis on the weapons for Denver because it's just not going to work out.
I'm in concurrence with you. I was surprised it was so high when I saw it. I was like, huh, okay, that's interesting.
Muy interesante.
Yes, sí, senor. All right, last game on the slate. Interesting enough. All the way over there in NorCal. But apparently Caleb Williams sent a bunch of little rubber duckies to our boy Jaden Daniels and said he's ducking him this week. You ducking me this week, boy? You ducking me? And that went over real big here in Washington. People talking mad shit. Jaden Daniels, game time decision, got the bruised ribs. How do you think this game plays out? Very intriguing. I like this as a 4 p.m. game too here in Washington. You don't get late starts. This game, by the way, I've been to the stadium and it's got a new name now. I don't know what it's called now, Northwest or something. But I've been there. 4 p.m. game.
Northwest and the Northeast.
Yeah, they open at like 10 a.m. and people drink from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. and it's 6 hours and people are hammered. It is bananas, right? And so,
you'd have to be hammered to still be a Washington fan. So.
True. What do you think this game is going to look like?
I think the Bears are going to blow them out. I think Washington probably doesn't give Jaden Daniels the green light because as good of a story as it is, it's not Jaden Daniels' choice to play in this game. They're going to be managing their rookie superstar top 2 pick, bruised ribs, extremely easy to re-injure, especially against the Bears defense that has a great pass defense, good pass rush. This is going to be one where we just saw Marcus Mariota light up the other team last week when Jaden Daniels went out. It's okay for Jaden Daniels to be a system quarterback. He's a rookie. The system is working, whether it's him or Mariota. And I still think the Bears are the class of this game. They're going to go there, take care of business because this is the best defense by far the Washington's played. Washington has played the easiest schedule in the NFL, and yes, they have taken care of business. That's part of the battle. But the Bears are for real. Their defense is for real, and that offense is heating up. DeAndre Swift has been a fantastic fantasy running back, and all these wide receivers are too much to handle for a secondary that's kind of been holding it together against terrible competition, looking pretty good. Dan Quinn taking a lot of credit. Just desserts for Washington what they've done so far, but I think this 5-2 team might even still miss the playoffs.
I'm not going to venture there yet because that would just kill all the people here who are celebrating. That's fine with me. I don't care. But DJ Moore had
let him. Yeah, go ahead.
3 touchdowns the last time he played against the Commanders, or 2 touchdowns. DJ Moore eats against Washington. He's from the local area, and he went to Maryland. Like this guy, he loves it here in the DMV. So I think DJ Moore has another show-out game. At 6,600,
Yep.
He's only 5% rostered. That's a guy I want. Even if he's a one offer, I don't have to play him with anybody else. I will have DJ Moore in my pool for sure.
I'm playing DJ Moore. I'm playing Keenan Allen. I'm playing Roma Dunze. I'm playing what's his name? Cole Kmet. I'm playing Caleb Williams. I'm playing DeAndre Swift. I'm playing Roshan Johnson. I think this is gonna be like a 40-20 just obliteration at Northwest Field. I think Washington is a paper tiger, and I think Chicago is a borderline playoff team with how they're constructed and just on the ascent. Washington's enjoyed a very easy schedule to date, and this is big boy time. Caleb Williams is for real. So is Jaden Daniels, but this Washington team, we can't have any illusions that they're on the same playing field as the Bears.
Bears. And Winter's joining us.
Bears.
Hey, Winter.
I was just in Chicago. I just got back today.
Did you get to go to the Hofbrau's and drink some of that beer there, eh?
No, I did a lot of ordering into my hotel room because I didn't feel like going out.
Did you get to?
I just still got some great food, great takeout food.
Yeah. Did you get any of the pizza? What do you think about the Chicago style pizza there?
I got the tavern style, which is the real Chicago style pizza, and I got it from Moretti's, which was outstanding. I got a recommendation from one of my Twitter followers who's a Chicagoan, and he said to get Moretti's, and I got Moretti's, and it was fantastic. And of course, I had it at Portillo's for an Italian beef dipped with the hot peppers. Yeah, that was fantastic. I got a burger at Small Cheval, which is an Au Cheval smaller venue with more of a laid back, formal, informal atmosphere. It was fantastic. Everything I had in Chicago was good. So take it from a foodie who appreciates good food at anywhere I go in the world. That's what I make it for, is for finding and trying different things. Thanks for all the recommendations. Every single one was an A plus. That was Chicago elite food city. I won't say it otherwise. It's top 5 in my book.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed it. Running The Sims again, apparently, since that's what the button did. Hot hike. What do you think here? Tell me what lineups you're looking to play here. I like it.
Oh, right on the top. Right on the top, they heard our Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase stacks. Cade Otton and Will Disley, yes. AJ Brown, yes. Maybe Flip McMillan for somebody better. Devon Achane and Brees Hall. Oh my God, yes. Yes, times a million.
Yeah, that first one is a doozy.
The third one there with Jalen Hurts too. Which one? The first one with Jalen Hurts. With Hall, Achane. No, I don't know why they like McMillan so much, but Smith, Chase, Otton, Disley, and the Jets defense. Whew. Brown and Chase in the same lineup. That's fantastic. And Brees Hall and Achane.
I like this one here with Dobbins, Josh Jacobs, Devonta Smith, Tim Patrick, Chase, Njoku, and then Disley.
We didn't even talk about Josh Jacobs. Yes. Kenneth Walker and Josh Allen and Brees Hall and Chase. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pull your pants down. That's a good one.
With Shakir, who I like. Ooh, I got a Bijan and Brees with Caleb and Chase and Keenan.
Look at this one. You've got Jalen with Dobbins, Swift, Chase, Smith, and Njoku.
Ooh. The one right above it's the one I was looking at. Or no, 2 above it. Bijan, Brees, Shepard, Patrick, Chase, Dobbins, Bills. Then you got Caleb, Dobbins, Brees, Chase, Allen, Komet, and the Bears. Oh, yeah.
These are sexy teams. I like these builds. Let's look down here. This is one of my favorite. You've got Lamar, Brees, Achane. I changed McMillan out, but maybe for Shepard. Bateman, Chase, Andrews, Njoku. Ooh, those 4 are some of my favorites right there.
And the Bears defense, yes, please.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. These are some of the best ones. I like this. This has been a nice run, The Sims.
If you're watching, screenshot and build.
Yeah. Let's get over to the email now. Break you into my email, and we'll get it. We'll get the first one up here. I think this is my lineup. I did go hot and heavy with Jameis Winston against you. He's going to throw the ball 80 times in this game. That's what he's going to do.
I hope he just turns around and gives it to Nick Chubb a bunch of times.
Yeah, that's not going to happen because the Ravens secondary, like I said, is just doggone awful, and they're all injured. And some of the players aren't even coming with them on the trip, even though they're questionable. If you're not coming on the trip, you're not playing. You're out. You're not questionable. You didn't even travel with the team. So
they're on the train. They're on the train to Cleveland.
Yeah, they're taking the U-Haul. They're on the back of a U-Haul to Cleveland. So
polka.
Yeah, John Candy's there. But I got Joe Mixon and Kenneth Walker. We talked about them. I like them. I stacked up Jerry Jeudy with Jameis Winston because I wanted one of his options. Just to, if you're going to play upside, you got to get a stack attack in there. Hopkins, because at 4,900, I do think he's going to just be there's no other wide receivers. If Sky Moore's on IR, he died. So, and then Drake London, we didn't even talk about him enough. Last time, he just ate against the Tampa Bay secondary. Nothing's going to stop him from eating again.
Everybody eats against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they're just like Bob's Big Boy. They're just open all the time.
Double stacking the Browns.
Yeah, I did have Njoku. I've been about Njoku. I do like Njoku a lot.
Jonnu.
I got the Broncos and Jonnu, so
I got to handicap myself at least a 10-point favorite because my lineup is a lot more stout and a lot less fragile.
let's pull it up. I've not actually looked at your lineup yet, so I don't even know what's in here. Let's see. Let's break it down for me, good sir.
So I went cheap at quarterback. We're going with an onslaught against the Carolina Panthers because again they gave up on the season a couple weeks ago. Bo Nix, dual threat, averaging 19.5 fantasy points a week the last 3 games. I'm pairing him with Javonte at 22.9 fantasy points a game against the the worst run defense in Carolina. And I'm also going low hanging fruit at running back Kenneth Walker against the second worst run defense in the league. Flyer wide receiver is also a stack with Bo Nix. That's his Oregon teammate. Go Ducks, #1 in the country. 4,100 Troy Franklin. Big play threat. Jaden Reed, big play threat. Jalen Waddle, big play threat. K. Dotton's going to get 15 targets. Joe Mixon, RB1. And Green Bay against Jacksonville. Who says Trevor Lawrence isn't going to throw some picks in this game? It's going to happen. I just think top to bottom, my team is absolutely stacked. Final destination. It's so that is so good.
I thought you'd like this one. So
The final destination. That's great.
yeah. Go follow Bo. I need to get out of here and get back to my profile here so I can go follow him. This is go follow Chalk Blocked. We're almost to 500 followers. We got me yelling. You got him talking. And then go follow Bo_McBigtime. He's getting up to 10K. Ooh, I love that was Fluffy. Is he throwing his mouthpiece after he kicked ass?
Yeah, you see Pereira back there with his face all busted up,
crying.
That's a hard ass picture right there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because Fluffy went through 4.5 rounds and didn't even have a scratch on him.
Ass kicker. Go give my man some flavor co. It's delicious. It's sexy. It's what the kids are looking
I
for
just
these
got an
days.
order yesterday. I'm gonna fill that order this weekend.
Well, thank you to everybody. We appreciate all of your patronage, all the friends in the chat. We'll get the chat in here eventually. We'll talk a little bit more about the chat. But I was watching you on the restream. We had let me see how many friends were in there. Let me get my friends in that restream. Yeah, we had Brandon Clegg was in there a bunch. We had my man Mark was in there. They were chatting it up. So thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate you patroning the show. And we'll see you guys next time on Chalk Block.